According to this article, 66 out of 76 billionaires worldwide have a degree. But the common notion where I'm from is if you want to become a multi-millionaire, you need to go and just become an entrepreneur after high school. Well, I'm 23 and I decided to go and study after school, and now I am a chartered accountant. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my experience for the last half a decade of studying, why I believe that if you go and study, you'll become a multi-millionaire faster. How this video is going to be structured, I'm going to be breaking it up into 3 core beliefs. Each one is going to get more interesting. The first concept is something I learned from a mentor of mine. His name is Alex Hormozy, and I'm sure you also know him if you follow the entrepreneurial space on YouTube. Now, he speaks of this concept calling you paying down ignorance debt. So how he defines ignorance debt, I'm going to be reading it out so I don't make a mistake. It's the cost of not learning something that you should know and the consequences you'll face in the future for not doing so. Now, this essentially means that after school, you virtually know very little about business. The basics you do know is maybe like the definition of certain things, or you know how management is defined, as we usually learn. But essentially, it will be very basic concepts of business or entrepreneurship in general. Now, a good concept of this that I learned in, for example, my accounting studies is the benefit of internal controls. Because in some businesses, I actually have heard of a story of someone who went bankrupt because of this. They didn't have the correct internal controls. That means is that there's systems when you get money in, there's systems, the systems when you pay money, the systems when you have assets in the business. So there's a lot of different internal systems. So essentially, if I didn't go and study accounting, I wouldn't have known that. And the cost of not knowing that could have cost me a lot more money further down the line by either the business, someone stealing from the business, or, for example, certain income not being tracked correctly. So within this concept of ignorance debt, most startups are actually underfunded. So that means that they can't afford, let's say you learn the skill of becoming an accountant. So by you going to learn that skill of becoming an accountant, you can actually save yourself a lot of money in the short term. I mean, later on, it's obviously not going to make sense for you to do your books the whole time as your business scales. But you can save a lot of money by learning these skills on other people's dime. Essentially, when you go and learn the skill, there's certain systems that you don't need to go and innovate or create new things for. Good systems that have been tested and proven and literally reiterated upon to make it the best have already been developed. All of these principles that you learn in accounting or business school are applicable to your business. There is no need to go and try and develop a new system to do inventory control because other people have already done it. So you just need to implement this system and save money. Moving to the second point, right? A big benefit that you get is the credibility from your degree. For example, I'm a chartered accountant. This last week, I actually met with the CEO of a company or a bank that does $1 billion. And you know what he did? I'm 23, he's 55, and he gave me mutual respect. He was like, okay, you are a chartered accountant. Like, I'm not bragging or anything here, but I'm just proving a point. When you go and do these degrees, you essentially get an opportunity to sit at the table with these banks because they'll find you more credible. They'll find you more trustworthy, if I can say it like that. So like, think about it this way. When you go and buy a product off of Amazon or Takealot, is they the exact same product, the exact same price? This one has 20,000 reviews, this one has 2,000 reviews. Which one are you going to choose? Obviously the one with 20,000 reviews. Because why? It seems more trustworthy. Other people have trusted it. So when a university gives you a degree, it's their stamp of approval that you are, in a way, trustworthy. And then banks obviously see you that way as well. So that is needless to say that you can use that for a lot of things. You can use that to get financing from banks. You can use that to get investors to say, okay, wow, this guy has completed the degree. So it has a lot of different benefits when it comes to trust. And the last concept that I want to talk about is learning on other people's dime. Now, this is actually a cool concept that I learned from Ali Abdaal's podcast. He had a podcast with a guy called Daniel Priestley. Now, Daniel Priestley is from Australia. He's a really successful entrepreneur. I think he gained massive success when he was in his 20s, 25, and essentially he did something like events. But he didn't just start after he went to school. He first went to go and work. Well, this is what he attributes his success to. He says he first went to go and work with an entrepreneur for about, I think, 3 or 4 years. He learned what the entrepreneur did to be able to make so much money. And he essentially started his own business that does the same thing. And that gained him a massive amount of success. And he is a big router to say that if you're an entrepreneur, first go and learn on other people's dime. Now, I know most degrees do not have a practical component with them, but essentially when you go and work for someone, like I have these last 3 years, you essentially get to talk to customers, learn how to deal with customer relations, do a bit of everything in the business, a bit of inventory control, and whatever actually sparks your interest. And then from there, you learn so many different skills, because I mean, mostly you're going to learn how to talk to customers, how to be professional, how to conduct meetings. Very important things if you think about a business. My mom is actually a very successful entrepreneur. However, she did not go and work for someone. But whenever we talk, she always tells me that one thing she wished she did when she was younger is just to go and work for someone, just to get the base knowledge of how is it like working from, let's say, 7 to 5. How is a company actually run? What procedures are there in place? How does the management look? How should your relation be with the management? It just gives you a good idea of what corporate life is like. So the last half a decade of being a student actually taught me a lot of things about being productive. Now, I actually made a video where I share the most productive apps that I discovered in the last half a decade, which you can maybe start implementing. Maybe I can save you a bit of time. So essentially, these are apps that make you more productive. So if you'd like to watch that video, I'm going to link it up here for you. But thank you so much for watching, and good luck deciding if you want to go and study to become an entrepreneur. See you in the next video. Cheers.